Well, as the pandemic wears on, something we have been tracking is how hard the local Latino community has been hit by this virus. In a recent news release, the county listed a number of possible reasons, including, again, according to the release, Latinos, quote, often show more physical affection. Well, the Chicano Federation has taken exception with that reasoning. Here to talk about that and the impact of the virus is the Chicano Federation of San Diego County CEO, Nancy Maldonado. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Could you elaborate on your rejection of that assertion from the county?
Yeah, so this is obviously something that we've been tracking and paying a lot of attention to. And the reason that, that statement or that suggestion caught us a little off guard is that there are a number of reasons that COVID-19 is impacting Latinos in San Diego County. And the data really clearly reveals that it's existing health and structural inequities in our county that are linked to this high rate of infection. So, we felt it was an opportunity to really address the overrepresentation of Latinos in frontline jobs and the lack of access to health care, the lack of access to affordable housing, all of which the data clearly shows. And, one of the things that current data is also revealing is the link between infection rates and individuals who don't speak English as their first language. So one of the things that we've been calling attention to since COVID reached San Diego is the lack of information or the lack of credible information about COVID-19 in all languages, including Spanish. So we felt that this was an opportunity to really highlight some of these inequities versus kind of downplaying it, and giving that explanation of it being linked to higher, to us being more affectionate.
Now, you mentioned some very important points there in terms of some of the factors that may be contributing to the high number of cases. What would you like to see happen, not just with the county, but also with people in terms of helping correct that and helping the community?
Yeah, so we have a number of suggestions, and part of the reason that we're taking such a strong stance on this is that we're talking to our community and asking them what they would like to see, not just from our organization, but from the county. And really across the board, what we've been hearing from the beginning is that there is a lack of credible and culturally relevant information in Spanish to address COVID-19 and the risk factors. So one of the things that we would love to see is more support from the county around informing Spanish-speaking Latinos about mask wearing, about social distancing. I think we would also love to see a more concerted effort to dispel some of the myths around testing, and a plan to address the fears and concerns around testing. So, for example, if you have a one-income household, and there might be some fear around getting tested because what would happen if they did test positive? So for that, we'd also love to see a plan to support our low-wage workers or our frontline workers and people who might not have the luxury or ability to self-isolate at home. So this is a community that needs support along with credible and reliable information in Spanish.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned a lot of things, too, that you have to follow all the way through the process. It can't be just information at the beginning. It also has to be what happens if someone tests positive. What does it mean for their family, for their income? And clearly, you touched on it. I mean, obviously, you would like the county to step up and do more, but also just the community, friends, neighbors, organizations that could step in and try to fill that gap.
Absolutely. And this is a really great opportunity to partner with some of these nonprofits and community organizations that are in the community doing the work, talking to people every single day. And so, we just highlight the county because they are in a position of influence and they are in a position to be able to work with community organizations and really make an impact. But also, you're right, to our community members, I mean, we can't emphasize enough right now that we need to be paying attention to the guidance that's coming out, including wearing masks and how important that is.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people need to come together here to make sure that this doesn't continue. Nancy Maldonado, really appreciate you talking to us.
Of course. Thank you for bringing attention to this important topic.
Absolutely. And we'll have more on that, of course, moving forward.